You have turned into Remote Control's latest episode. Listen in as the GCRN crew talks TV from 2000 to now, with pilot and season premiere episodes, finishing finales, and season passes as well. Now get ready to change the channel with your Remote Control as we bring you the latest and greatest in the world of television. All from the Geekcast Radio Network. We are all remote controlled.
Grab that remote control because the GCRN's brand new TV podcast is here. We are calling it Remote Control. I am your host, TFG1Mike, and joining me is Steve Megatron. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
Exhausted.
Remote Control will be about the current TV generation. In this latest pilot premiere episode, we are taking a look at a new show, miniseries, mid-season series, whatever you want to call it, from ABC, entitled Agent Carter. Yep, that's right. Her first name is Agent.
Wasn't that joke used on another podcast?
I don't care. It was used in their title.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to title it the same thing, but I'm sure everybody on the internet has used that joke by now. As always, our good friend Kate over at thetelevision.com puts out her weekly caffeine collected news things for January 19th, 2015. We're going to go over a little bit of this. We have some premiere dates: February 13, Bosch premieres, March 17th, Community premieres, which I believe it's its final season. Thank God.
It's been its final season for years. They just keep moving it to different stations.
Oh, so it's kind of like
it's
Futurama.
On Yahoo now.
It's kind of like Futurama and Family Guy and everything else. It's been on its final season for the past 7 seasons. We also have Nurse Jackie, April 12th, Happy-ish and Penny Dreadful on April 26th, and Odd Mom Out on June 8th. Renewed are Arrow, Jane the Virgin, Reign, Supernatural. Hey, there you go. What is that, 11 seasons now? Dude, you're going to love this Geekcast Radio episode 78 in a couple of weeks, because Amy and I she actually talks about Supernatural a bit. The 100, The Flash is renewed for a second season, The Originals, The Vampire Diaries, Schitt's Creek? Okay. NCIS New Orleans, Madam Secretary, Scorpion. Yay, Scorpion got renewed, thank God. Shameless, The Fosters, Broad City, The Royals, Gotham. Gotham got a second season. Let's hope it goes faster than the current one.
First seasons are always slow.
Yeah, I know. Empire and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Canceled is Benched. Did you ever watch Benched?
No interest.
Okay. And I found out this week, it was actually before I went to thetelevision.com, but I found out through my DVR actually over the weekend that my favorite new Fox show is actually going to get its final 3 episodes aired. Red Band Society has been canceled, damn it, but at least they are not going to leave the last 3 episodes up in limbo. Have you heard about the Twin Peaks limited series revival?
I have, but I don't care.
Okay, Kyle MacLachlan will return as the star of the new Showtime Twin Peaks limited series. We have, let's see here, some guest stars. Okay, haha, I wonder when this is going to happen. For guest stars on Agent Carter, the show we're going to be talking about tonight, Stan Lee is going to guest star. He's going to have a cameo on Agent Carter.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
The article from Variety says, Stan Lee has booked his next appearance in the Marvelverse. Variety has confirmed the comic book icon will make a cameo in Marvel's Agent Carter. In the series' January 27th episode, Lee will appear in the Blitzkrieg button as a man who has a brief encounter with Howard Stark. That's going to be cool. That's just going to be cool. Really, really well. Let's see. The Blacklist is employing Janelle Maloney, David Stratham, and Gloria Rubin for its cast. Gotham is bringing in Cameron Monahan. Revenge is bringing in Kim Richards. For returns, we have Charlotte Ross returning to Arrow. Let's see. Hilary Barton is returning to Forever. We get some other casting news and stuff, but ladies and gentlemen, this link will be on the remote control post for this episode. Head on over if you want to check out any of these news stories to thetelevision.com, and they will have you covered for that. I think we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with our thoughts on Marvel's Agent Carter after this.
Remember, we're going to the movies Saturday.
You know how busy the office keeps me.
You gotta live a little before you're happy.
Agent Carter, all hands on deck.
Open up the box of secrets.
Love the hat.
Show me what you got.
You want a mission that matters? This is it.
You work at the phone company. It ain't life and death.
You have no idea.
Marvel's Agent Carter, an 8-part television event, premieres Tuesday, January 6th on ABC.
All right, folks, we are back, and it is time to talk about Marvel's Agent Carter, or just simply Agent Carter. It debuted January 6, 2015 on ABC. Show length is 1 hour, which includes commercials. Seasons, we don't know. I read somewhere that this is going to be a 7-issue mini, or 7-issue, Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm inside the pull bag here, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe because I just recorded that a little while ago. It's going to be a 7-episode miniseries, apparently. And I got to say, right off the bat, I wish Agent Carter was the full show, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the miniseries.
Only somebody that hasn't watched the entire thing would say something like that.
Hey, I watched the first 8 episodes of
yeah,
the
that
first
doesn't
season.
count. You haven't watched it all the way through, so your opinion is null and void.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you don't want the response, but you can dish it out, but you can't take it. You're a bitch.
Shut up, you. No, this to me is more interesting than finding some fake, stupid way to bring back Coulson.
Yeah, you're still hung up on that?
You damn right I am.
Yeah, they explained the whole thing. It made sense. Get over it.
Yeah, well, it didn't make any damn sense to me. But
it's because you didn't watch the season. You have to watch the damn show in order to understand. But
well,
it's fine. You can pass your illegitimate judgment on the show because you have the lack of watching it.
As soon as season 2 is put on Netflix, I will watch all the rest of it. But no, Agent Carter, I thought it was great because you're basically telling the aftermath of the first Captain America film. And it was great that they got Hayley back, and it was I'm just loving it so far. It's fun seeing the people that we used to like. It's fun for me seeing Howard Stark and how he is compared to what I know how Tony is. And the fact that Jarvis was actually a real person at one point or another, that's just awesome.
I knew that was coming.
What were your initial impressions when you first saw the show?
I wasn't sure about it to begin with. To be honest, I was kind of turning my nose up, kind of like you with the whole thing.
S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah.
Because I don't care for a prequel story. They've already kind of told it. I mean, yeah, this is kind of showing some of the forming of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's not really. It's the aftermath of Captain America, the First Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
But it's surprised me, I will say, and because I have been watching. I watched the first 3 episodes,
right?
And I'll give it that it's been very decently written, and then the fact that you have basically Stark on the run and Jarvis kind of helping Agent Carter and Stark.
Yeah. And for me, I understand you don't like the prequel stories. For me, it depends on what it is. Because, like I said a second ago, I just got done, as of this recording, recording a pullback episode with A.J. Barron on He-Man and the Masters of the Universe DC Comics series, where one of the issues was a prelude to the Blood of Grayskull, basically where they go back 1,000 years and tell you what happened to King Grayskull, He-Man's descendant. The future, the ancestor of He-Man. So, like, that was great. And this, to me, I look at this as a sequel, sort of, to First Avenger. I love First Avenger. I thought it was great. I thought it was very, very sad at the end, obviously, since, nobody could find him for 70 years. But with a miniseries like Agent Carter, we get to see how she, as a woman, deals with everybody after, I don't want to say glory days, because it's just after her wartime days, During the war, she was very much needed in a lot of different things, and now it's like, and we see in the pilot episode, most of the men in the SR are treating her like, hey, honey, go get me a cup of coffee, that kind of thing. And she's not that kind of woman. She'll do it just to appease them, but she's not your average 40s and 50s woman.
Well, no, she could literally just kick their ass.
Yeah. Yeah, she would kick ass and take names. The first episode, absolutely dug it. I thought it was great. Some of the cast here, before we get into the rest of the episode stuff, you've got, as I said, Hayley Atwell returning as Peggy Carter. You got James Darcy as Jarvis. You got Chad Michael Murray as Jack Thompson. You got Enver Gochai as Daniel Sosa. You've got Shay Wingham as Roger Dooley. The recurring character for most of it is Dominic Cooper as Howard Stark, which I love that they had the mind to keep him going with the role of Howard instead of bringing in somebody else. I thought that was great.
Mm-hmm. Well, they all expressed interest in returning. Is right. Why they're all there.
True. Oh, wow. I so did not recognize him. He was also in... Most people besides me probably hate this movie. He was in 2014's Need for Speed with Aaron Paul as one of the villains. I so did not know that.
What, the video game?
No, the film based on the video game.
There's no film on a video game.
Yes, there is.
They don't make those.
Yes, they do.
Not in America.
Yes, they do. Should we flash back to just over 20 years ago where we had Super Mario Brothers the movie?
That's not a real movie either. That's a toy advertisement.
What about Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
That doesn't exist either. Most video game movies are crap.
Most of them are, but...
I'd say 99% of them are.
Alright, so Agent Carter, how are you liking the cast overall? The characters that they've introduced?
I'm kind of liking the dynamic that they've got going on between all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hayley Atwell playing Carter again. It's nice seeing her play kind of a badass character. In kind of a master of disguise and kind of, just somebody that's willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Right.
And then it's funny seeing Jarvis, Howard Stark's butler, which is also the same name of Tony Stark's virtual butler.
Yep.
It just makes me laugh, the fact that it's the persona is very much the same. For both that and the future, artificial intelligence Jarvis.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that he's kind of not really wanting to do some of these secret agent things, but he's trying to help Stark, kind of clear his name.
Right.
And then the fact that he puts himself like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's after after 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I can't leave the house. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's because it's like, these things, Howard after the war, he he didn't get the best part of that deal after the war. I mean, the man's on the run. All of his inventions are just like stolen or whatever else, and it just isn't going too well for Howard.
So it sounds just like when S.H.I.E.L.D. fell and Hydra took everything.
Well, yeah, because these are they bring up in the other two episodes, at least I think in the most recent third episode of the show, they bring up Leviathan. And I'm like, wait, isn't that a Batman thing?
It wasn't until recent.
Yeah, I know. But, I thought this was going to be remnants of Hydra. Or somewhat showing us where Hydra was after the Red Skull, after the war, and whatever else. Because obviously Hydra is still going strong when we get to Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I'm digging Agent Carter. I love all the... Since it's basically a period piece kind of thing, I love all the old stuff in this because it's so cool to see again. Like, some of these cars are just amazing. Just baffles me. Like, I could never live in these decades. Like, I could never have lived in the 40s and 50s. But it's so cool to look back at, on it. I'm trying to think. What did you think of the second episode?
Interesting. The continuation, and then them searching for more of the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if this is the one. I don't know if it's this one or the next one that they actually end up at Stark's house.
I think it's this one.
Because they kind of mesh together for me, because I marathoned all three of them in a row.
Okay. Yeah, it's the third one.
Okay.
Because she's hiding when the police come, or when the SSR comes and takes Jarvis in for questioning. She's hiding in the house, like on the stairwell, like right next to the front door.
It's unfortunate that in this episode, though, that they further incriminate Stark because Jarvis.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sure Howard will pull out in the end, though. I mean, he always has a way out of situations. I mean, hell, look where his son is.
True.
And obviously we don't know how well. I know the general story of how Howard ends up dying. Like, I know the classic story, but we don't know the events within the Marvel Cinematic Universe that led to his death, because obviously it's not going to happen in this series, because it's not going to happen in Agent Carter, because he was in Iron Man 2 as a semi-old man. Because at this point, I don't think he's even had Tony yet. He might have, but I don't remember.
I don't think so. It's still like the 40s, kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit after the war. I'm just loving watching this show. It's a really, really good, refreshing Marvel property show. And like I said, it bridges the gap, and it gives you an insight that we didn't get to see in the Captain America movies, because Captain America movies obviously about Steve Rogers and whatever else, and how he feels about Peggy, and we see in these first three episodes, whenever she mentions anything about him, we see, the twinge of pain on her face or anything like that, and it's so ever so slight, but this show is great. I wish they'd do more than just 7.
I think they may eventually revisit it. I think it'll just be another filler in between season 2 and 3 of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And it'll be a later time in history. Like, instead of the 40s and 50s, it'll be like 75, 79, something like that.
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't know.
It's hard to say. It depends on how intertwined into the story they get with them.
Yep. obviously the 7-issue series, or the 7-issue, god damn it, the 7-episode miniseries has not ended yet, but so far after 3 episodes, 0 to 5 stars, what would you give it?
Probably give it about 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a 4.5. It's the pacing on it is very well done. I love all the characters. I just wish we had more answers. That's just me. That's just my little nitpick. I wish we had more answers faster, but the pacing is going very well. The acting is great. I mean, the camaraderie, if you can even call it that, between Agent Carter and Jarvis is just awesome.
That, and they don't really have a choice. They both,
no,
admire Stark, so they kind of are trying to help clear his name, and
yep.
In doing so are essentially forming the original Shield.
Yep. And they even put a unseen Jarvis's wife kind of thing in there. It's kind of like Mrs. Wallowitz from The Big Bang Theory.
How did I know you were going to bring that up?
Oh man! All right, folks. So I know Remote Control has been away for a while. We took a little bit of a holiday break. We are going to be coming back stronger than ever. We are going to be doing season passes for the Blacklist Season 1 at some point. Doug Abel from Talking About My Generation and I are going to be doing all 3 seasons of Dallas for season passes. We're going to have a couple other pilot premieres. In April, we'll have a pilot premiere, or we might even have a season pass, because I think the entire series for the Marvel Daredevil Netflix thing is coming. I think the entire series is coming to Netflix on April 10th, so I don't think it's just the first episode. I think it's the whole thing, and that's me not looking at any info, so I could be wrong. But so either Daredevil will either get a pilot premiere or a season pass, depending on what Netflix has for it at that time. I'm very excited for the Daredevil show because I loved Vincent D'Onofrio, and he's going to make a really, really cool Kingpin. What else is coming up for Remote Control? This summer, we're going to start our regular episodes with the broadcast spotlight, or the broadcast channels, where we go over the history of NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, the CW, that kind of thing. So that's coming up this summer for Remote Control, but we are back. May not be on a weekly basis right away, but we are back, and we will be putting out more regular episodes than we did over the 2014 holiday break. Anything else you want to bring up, sir?
Don't think so.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Remote Control, and hope to stop channel surfing and tune in to us next time, when I believe we're going to have the season pass for Dallas Season 1, the 2012 series from TNT. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
Steve Megatron Phillips.
Tune in next time when we will all be fighting over the remote control.
You've just listened to Remote Control. Thank you for tuning in to Remote Control. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can email us feedback at geekcastradio.com. Be sure to leave us feedback in iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at GeekCastRadio. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. You can call the voicemail line. Be sure to leave us your name and the show you're leaving it for. The number is 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Remote Control.